Spiritual Astrology Show. And the time now is just on 11 o'clock in Spain. It's 10 a.m. in the UK, and a little bit different if you're somewhere else. But in the meantime, no, let's start off the show with this. Let's have a rocking good morning with the stars, the astrology, the spirituality, and the energetic times of the week. Sound good? Then come along and join us. Very good morning to you. I hope you guys are well out there, having a lovely week so far. We're midweek into the first week of March, and hopefully spring has got you into a step of positivity, a step of happiness and that little bit of springness in the air. I'll stop there just in case I get too carried away. Anyway, so it's lovely to see you guys. And if you've joined this show for the very first time, then first of all, what I'd like to say is a warm welcome to you. This is a Spiritual Astrology Show. I'm your host, Phil Griggs, and this is going to be a show all about astrology, all about the energies out there, live mini reading. So if you guys would like to get some questions in about an astrology reading for you with a bit of spirituality and numerology, then we need guys, your date of birth. We need your favorite color. And we also need a question. Preference are given to those who ask a specific question. If you ask a general question, then yes, we'll answer it, but we love those ones, especially if it says here, tell me about my love life, or tell me about something else. If we just say general reading, yes, we'll do it, but guys, I've got to tell you here, if it's more around the other way, where we give your information to those specific questions. And by the way, have any of you seen any dragons out there recently? Any dragons? No? Well, we've seen some, and perhaps you might like these. Yes, so there you go, guys. On our little dragons there, they're asking you, please, if you could share the show, if you could subscribe, if you're coming on YouTube, if you want to use YouTube, by all means do. It's exactly the same as this, except it's on YouTube, and it's not so much on here. And yes, right, okay, Natalie, yes, we need a question, we need a colour, and we need your date of birth. And then later on during the show, we'll get around to that. So we definitely need your date of birth because it's astrology, and astrology needs those details there. Jay Jones says, good morning to Deborah and all. And all. There's loads of us here. Did you not realise this? And what else got to tell you? Right. I think it's about time I go and find out where my good friend Guiomar is and go and find out what's going on up there. Let's go and have a little look. Okay, so, hello. Guiomar. Oh, Guiomar.
Hi.
There she is. That was amazing. Hey, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Phil. How are you? How is everybody?
Well, so far, they look very well. And, I like this. Susanna says, hi, Phil and Lady G.
Phil.
I'm bowing.
Today's the 3rd, not the 4th.
I was just testing people there, and it's amazing how many people didn't come back to me.
Phil, it's okay. Time doesn't exist.
I knew something philosophical was going to come out of this. Good morning to the wonderful Sandra Park. And good morning. And Jay says good morning. And we've got Natalie. Ah, there we go. Okay. What's lying ahead for me? Yes, we'll come back to you, Natalie, in a little while. Thank you very much.
Time doesn't exist, Phil.
No, time doesn't exist. So what time is it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Which means it doesn't make any sense if we try to foresee the future.
This is one of those mornings where you start waking up, you're going, what's that? Especially for you people out there in the world somewhere who have just woken up, especially if you're some areas of the world and you need waking up, this is just for you. Yes, it. Come on up. The Spiritual Astrology Show is on, and Guiomar's here, and we're going to have a fabulous morning, aren't we? Aren't we, guys? Yes, of course we are.
It's not going to work.
Why?
Because we're in Pisces season. We're in the month of Pisces.
That's it. That's it, everybody. That's it. Because we're in Pisces.
Which means that it's normal to feel asleep all day long.
I love that feeling.
Yeah, because you're a Pisces.
Yeah, no, but I'm Pisces. I'm Pisces rising, right. But this bit about like I'm in some sort of like where am I world. Yeah, I could do a bit of that, but then I've got this energy thing to get me out there, get going, and do things.
Yes, but it's a lot of people are finding difficulty to come to actually integrate that energy to go out there and do things with this nebulous Piscesness, which connects us with other realms. So a lot of people are having difficulties this last week, like anxiousness and negative thoughts swirling in their minds, and very old recurring patterns, but like spinning out of control at pretty like at a lot of speed. So
yes, okay, I agree with that. And I think a lot of people I've been working with this week have, and I'm seeing that, look, you've got two choices. You can either, and actually talk to them astrologically and saying to them, look, you've got the Pisces season, which you can either think, oh my God, everything's worse and bad than what it really is, or you can go with, hang on a minute, just being yourself and just float with the times we're going through rather than focusing too much in the future. Yes, I knew you were going to do that. I knew that was coming.
You're right. You're right in the sense that we should be present with the times and not focusing too much on the future, even if we have glimpses of that future.
Yes.
So it's more about being present in the times and being very grounded. Pisces rules the feet. If you're not grounded, there's no true Pisces. You just go off in like a balloon into the stratosphere, and it bursts and you fall and you splat on the ground and you die. So no, seriously.
I've got a sound effect just for that balloon thing. That's it. See it?
And the other one.
Hang on, I've got a calamity one, but that goes on a little while. Yes, no. Yeah. They'll do that. It goes on further, but that's sometimes how it can sometimes feel.
That's good enough, Phil. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. Oh, okay. Dear.
So, what about what is this about going with the flow? So people say, yeah, go with the flow. It's more spiritual to go with the flow, but if you go with the flow, you're going to splat on the ground, right?
Yes.
Because take for instance a bird that rides a thermal current.
Yes.
So you know how birds just float on the air, but they're not floating. They're actually catching on to hot air rising in spiral. Okay. So then a bird catches that current and starts spiraling around, and that's how it lifts. This is also how a motorless airplane works, a glider. So it circles, and then it lets itself go down and catch the prey, right? But the act of it's very important to choose the current you go to and choose when you leave the current. Because if you just go with the flow, you're going to be like a leaf that is splattered all over the place. You can't just go with the flow.
No.
If you go with the flow, your mind is going to go one way and your body's going to go in another way. And you really don't want to do that right now.
I agree. And I think
it's very important to make choices continuously, but to make small choices of in the present moment, not long-term choices. So for example, now you might like we've been stuck, and so now we're in the dreamy month of Pisces, and these ideas are starting to come in. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta go, I gotta do, and all that stuff. And then it's like, no, because if you just go ahead and go forth and go running towards what you want, it's not gonna be grounded. It's like, imagine that you have what do you call this when you walk on cinder blocks, on cinders, on
Yeah,
stone?
firewalking.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, firewalking.
firewalking.
Okay,
Yeah.
so imagine you're firewalking, okay, but it's like it's a very, very long strip to firewalk, and in between the coals, there are actual stones which have a nice temperature. Okay, so you just don't firewalk through the
No.
coal without thinking. But if you're actually mindful of where you're stepping at and you realize that there are colder stones, then you choose where you put your foot on and what's the
Nice.
next step you're taking. Whereas if you just run and you're stepping on the coals, you're gonna get your feet burnt and you're probably gonna fall flat on your face and burn your face too. So the thing is, I'm a
Oh
Scorpio
dear.
rising. I'm a Scorpio rising. I have to put these like very drastical,
Yes.
Burton
One
type
hot Geo.
examples. So anyway, so the thing is, if we're not choosing what's going on, is what is actually motivating my action, what is actually the impulse behind my action, are my fears.
Yes.
And that's also part of the Pisces month, the month
It,
of Pisces.
I agree with it. I agree with this. I love the way of putting it there, and I think it is. It's being in the present moment, but watching where you go. Be mindful of where you want to go, but being in the moment in order to access that, rather than just tearing off with like a Mars Aries thing, just go, whoa, that's where I want to go and go for it. I'm not saying that's the wrong way, but I'm saying here for especially Pisces people will feel this as being very, or Pisces elemented people who've got these energies in their chart will feel this so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very nice indeed. Yes. Just a reminder that Clairvoyance group members can pre-book their readings. If you're in the group, you can. Joe Gardner says, hello, everyone. And Susanna says, you've got to identify your blockages to move off. Then there will be a better flow. Totally, totally. And Clairvoyance Spiritual shows every Friday, 8 p.m., 7 p.m. UK. Special guest this week is Helen Grady. And we're also saying hello to everybody else. That's brilliant. And Rennie Bryan says, great focus. Great focus. Fantastic. Yes. And Rennie comes all the way in from Australia. And also, we are going to be talking to him very, very soon about arranging another Tuesday show. Okay. And who else is there? Well, loads of others. And Sandra says, feet first. That's right. Because
Yeah.
Pisces is
Feet
about
first.
your feet. Yeah.
Totally. Pisces is about the feet. It's all about feet first, one foot after the other, which is very, very Virgo, which is the opposite sign, and the best way to live Pisces is integrating Virgo. So
Mm.
it's choose all the little steps you take in every moment. It's like, what am I going to do now? Now I'm going to do this. Now I choose this. Now I choose that. Not just letting yourself go with the day to day routine. Like, oh, I gotta go get the children. Oh, I gotta go do this. Oh, I gotta go do that. I gotta make the food. I gotta do. No, no, no. What do I want to make? What do I want to do? If I have to go get the children, choose a different route to go get the children. So you're choosing. So it's the act of choosing small day to day things. So when people say that as humans we have the ability to choose, yes and no. There's a part that we're not choosing at all, and that is very important to acknowledge. But what we do choose, so what we do have to know how to do is practice choosing in a day-to-day basis. So it's not that we choose, it's that we need to practice choosing, which is a totally different thing. It's for
Yeah.
the sake of choosing. This choosing helps you be in the present moment, helps you appreciate the present moment, helps you be mindful of the next step you're taking, helps you be mindful of how you're feeling. So it's practicing choice more than choosing that we have to do to actually align with ourselves and with our higher self and with our potential best future possible.
I think that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Yes, it's also good with the feet. Sometimes we think your feet are a bit the other end of the body, a bit boring. No, we dance. Think about the old times in the 70s. We used to have tiger feet. Remember those days? Tiger feet? No, yeah. See, you're not in that era, are you? No. We used to have rock and roll bands called Mud. Used to sing Tiger Feet. They were one of the best groups. Anyway, that went down like that balloon. Okay, so let's have a look at who else came in. We've got Luna Lynchwood. Good morning, my dear. How are you? How's Norfolk? It's very well up there. And who else we got here? We've got a few other people coming in, saying hello. And Deborah is saying good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody out there. So let's have a look. I'm just going to find my astrology chart, which I stuck. There it is. Let's have a look at this and see what's going on. Eek. You can get sound effects. How's that? You get sound effects. It's right in the middle there. It's just about, yes. So again, we got all these planets down one side, down this side here, and a little bit. Get my finger there. No, I can't go your side. We're going over there. That way. Yes, that's it. You got to. Yeah. That's it. We got this worked out. Don't worry. You can tell this is pre-designed.
Well, actually, it's like.
Yes, that's it. Just up there. Eek. That's it. Just stick your finger up Mars. Oh. Oops. Do you feel a bit of Mars?
Of Mars or of yours?
Did you get a bit of reaction from Mars?
At Mars or at yours?
Yeah,
Mars. Now, Mars is where Uranus is.
Yes, we don't want to go too far down that road. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. This is a decent astrology show. We have no, we do. no bad taste here. Of course, we have good taste. Right, okay, so we've got Pluto, Mars. They're in a link at the moment, aren't they?
Yes, they're forming a trine. A trine normally is not a bad aspect, but I don't care much about the color of the aspects. Basically, they're talking to each other, and when Pluto and Mars talk to each other, on the one hand, it's about like Pluto really boosts Mars because they both rule Scorpio, and the moon is in Scorpio, so the theme is quite potent right now.
Yes.
So Pluto boosting Mars is it's all about boosting Mars is your oomph, your energy, how you go, how you move forward, and Pluto is also a sign of power, but it's a deeper power, so it can be either a very low vibe power like corruption and the mafia and all that stuff, or a very high vibe power like the power of your soul.
Okay.
So it's all about empowering Mars, but since it also can resonate especially because Pluto is in Capricorn, the sign of patriarchy, it can also be about like abuse of power and things having to do with abuse of power. Abuse of power, we can see it as a little memory of abuse of power because also the moon is in Scorpio, as I said. So it's issues or themes of connecting with stories of abuse, memories of abuse, past issues of abuse, your life, your ancestors' lives. It can be happening to you, but it's most likely that you just fall into that spiral and find yourself like out of control with no ability to deal with your day-to-day life. Okay. So it can bring in, it's pretty strong. It's been pretty strong this week. So in this aspect, for some people, all the Neptunian stuff has been very beautiful. But for those people who have to connect with their personal power, it's pretty strong. Okay. So if that's the case, if you felt how energies dealing with your impotence or, the inability to choose what you want, where you want to go, or abuse of power or of any sort, please understand that this energy is here to connect you to a higher source of power for your Mars.
Okay? Now that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
To connect you with the source of your drive that comes from your higher self, not from your ego. But to do that, the ego identifications must be shed. So, and to shed them, you must feel them and see them.
Okay.
So they must become obvious to you right now, right? So once they become obvious, it's very, very simple to get out of the story, which is basically just saying, I release anything that is not mine. I release anything that does not serve my higher purpose, on the one hand, acknowledging first that you're feeling that. On another hand, taking care of your body and yourself, like properly hydrating yourself, like filthier drinking, eating, and taking care of your body so your body feels comfortable. And then doing something very mindful, like mindful walking, just walking with one step in front of another, slow paced, feeling your feet, feeling your heels, and then choosing all the little things that in your day to day, like the color of the mug you're going to use, what you're going to eat, which way you're going to go to pick up the kids, etc., etc. So all that's going to help you get yourself into the present moment and deal with those cellular memories of abuse in a much lighter way.
It's I know a lot of spiritual people, and probably a lot of people who joining us here this morning will probably resonate with that somewhere in their lives, because being spiritual, you've probably gone through a lot of crap in your life before you ever got to experience the wonderment or the loveliness of it all. It's a bit like roses; they have to grow through poo before they come out looking good, and smelling good. Yeah. But the nice thing is, what I like now, looking at the charts here, Mars at 29 degrees of Taurus is just about before it steps into the lively sign, very positive, like yay, go for it sign of Gemini. So I think we're gonna see the energies come up with everybody, and people start getting a bit more excited about things, talking a little bit more.
But
yes.
But Mars, when it goes into Gemini, is going to trine Saturn.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's a lovely aspect. That's a good thing to have, I think, in money. But Mars, I know.
It can balance it out, but it can also bring quarrels.
Yeah, can do. I suppose Gemini, because it's people, it's twins. It's showing people around things, isn't it? Connecting us on that level there. I agree with you. I also feel, though, that it's going to a little bit later on, it's going to touch Jupiter. That'll be a lot later on. Probably coming the next couple of months is going to touch Jupiter. I don't know the exact dates,
which will make us integrate, because Jupiter begs us to integrate what happened with Pluto, Mars, and Saturn, Mars.
Yes, and I think there's going to be a bit more uplifting. Yeah, there might be arguments, but I think it's like, yes, okay, now we cleared the air. Now let's get on with it. Yeah. Good. Okay, we're going to do a little bit.
But of course, Phil, when there are arguments, it's because people are out of their center.
Yes.
So you don't argue with somebody if you're totally in your center. So Mars makes you feel angry when you are out of your center, so you can be aware of that and choose to go back into your center, which basically means make choices of what you want in your life. What you want to experience, for example. So if you're out of your center because you're angry because your partner forgot about your birthday, for example, then it's the way to get back into your center is owning that anger and saying, so what is important for me? What is it exactly that I need and I want? Do I need for my partner to remember my birthday, or do I need for my partner to acknowledge me every now and then, more than just remember my birthday? No? Do I feel not acknowledged? So if that's the case, how many times in my life have I not felt acknowledged, for example? So basically, whatever I'm blaming my partner, whoever, of doing or not doing, is something that stems from when I'm a kid.
Okay.
Or when I'm a child, or when I'm a baby.
Okay,
so
it's very interesting.
Get back to that, and then own the anger and say, okay, I don't like this pattern. I don't want this pattern anymore. What I want is something different. And then you just state what you want. And you use anger to center yourself and to create, to intend something new.
Okay. I'm sorry about the sound this morning. We've been told here that there's sound issues. If there are, please let us know which side they're coming from, whether it's Guiomar's side, both our sides, or my side. Apologies for that. Hopefully you can hear us a bit clearer now. Sometimes it's the energy out there. What I'll do actually, I'm going to put that onto airplane mode and see if that makes any difference. It may do. Right.
Because I can hear you perfectly. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm glad you can. Both Phil and Guiomar. Okay, both of us glitching, but we don't hear it on here. That's interesting. Okay,
Is
hopefully, guys.
anybody else? Is
Uh,
anybody else
some people
listening
say
to?
there's the odd glitch, and some people say that uh, no, I haven't got many other details. I haven't got much information about anybody else. Okay, all okay for me, says Sarah. Okay, so it's something going on out there in some areas.
Yeah,
Sorry about that. Sorry.
it's out of our control, which is what Pluto, Mars, and Saturn, Mars say. If
Yes.
things are not under your control, and just accept it. But what can you choose to
Okay.
do? What can you choose in your day to day to within that context of things that are not in under your control? How can you make things better for yourself?
I think is yeah. How can you? How can I think it's about this? I think the Mars bit you said there. I think is what's important. I think is being able to go within yourself and just centering yourself. I think that's a big thing because then, all right, you say you don't argue with people, but I think you choose what you want rather than feeling that you're being drawn into something you really don't want to be drawn into. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's coming up to past, almost 27 minutes past, and let's do a little bit of this. Okay, so we're coming up to the time when we're going to start doing some mini readings for you guys. We've already got some details which have come through, which is very, very kind of you. Joe Gardner, you've already written in there. And also we've got another lady here wrote in earlier, right at the start here. Yes, Natalie White, yes. Right, okay, so you guys there, what we'd like to ask you to do, if you'd like a live mini reading this morning, we need your date of birth. We need a favourite colour and we need a question. If you ask a specific question like love life, job, career, home move, anything like that, we'll give that preference above anybody who asks a general reading. Because general is just general. If we've got something specific, we go for that. We enjoy working with that because it gives us more something to work on. Okay, right, and let's have a look go here. The spirit activity this morning is really rocketing, so it's going to be interesting what we start picking up here. Let's have a little looky. Let's go. Joe Gardner, there you are there. Good morning to you. And Joe, it's interesting here because even as I started to talk about you, this gentleman wanted to come in beside me here. And he's sorting himself out, he says here. And it's interesting because he's showing me his mannerisms when he was alive. And your question here is about love and how it's going to be in front of you. Well, this is what I'd like to say to you first of all. This gentleman who's with me here is in your family line. Is on. I'm just trying to pick up here. I believe he is on. He is on. This is interesting, he is on your father's side of your family. And this guy here is just getting himself presented because he never used to, he wasn't a wealthy man, he tells me here, but he always wanted to look nice, always wanted to be nice. And she's just getting himself, look, I'm here, I'm looking nice. And I've got Big D to do with his name, like David, someone like D. And also he wants to show me here, he says here that he says he's doing this to you. He's just saying, just calming down. And also he wants to say to me here, he says here that a lot of peace, a lot of happiness, a lot of good news is coming to you regarding love, but give this time. And sometimes it's infuriating when people say to you, oh, just give it time. But he is being specific about time because of events coming up a bit later on this year. And you'll find your love life be a happy place, especially what ties in around love and ties in around home. Ooh. Can things get any better there? I wonder. Let's go and pop down the road to Guiomar, see if we'll say what's doing that. And we'll come back to your numerology.
So hi, Joe. Joe's a Sun conjunct Neptune in Scorpio and Moon in Libra. So it's all about connecting with somebody and like really fusing in love and
Ooh.
being in love with love, and it's about just abandoning yourself basically. But that moon is with Jupiter, Uranus, and Mars, so there's a lot of impatience regarding
Oh,
in Libra regarding love and relationships. So that impatience, because the planets are in Libra, could deal with either you being like, oh, now what should I do? Should I phone him? Should I not phone him? Should I say this or should I do that? And then being in a relationship and having that the other person is impatient with you and pushing you around, and then you're not taking decisions. And at the beginning, you might think it's fun to whiz around with somebody else, but then you lose yourself, and then your North Node in Aries says, "What the fuck? I can't stand this. I can't stand this. I'm not being considered. I'm letting myself go, and that's not me." But your mind gets like really lost. Lilith in Gemini with Mercury gets really, really lost in other people's thoughts and ideas and how things should be. But your Lilith really needs for you to cultivate your own space. Wherever you are, always have your own space where you can reflect on your own thoughts, on your feelings, on what's important for you, and not get carried away. So it's very, very easy for you to get carried away. Don't get carried away. You have to learn to be more independent. So yeah, create the space to be able to really feel and think what is yours and what is important for you, whatever you do. So now if you don't have a relationship and you want one, just create that space to meditate on what it is that you want in a relationship and what you don't.
this is so interesting what you're saying there, because this guy who's with me talking to me, he's saying to me as well that I agree with you. It's about creating that space. It's about being in yourself to create the nice feelings of love, the nice feelings of romance. There, that's a big thing. Bit of funny noise in the background here. Hopefully you can all. Yes, can you hear it? You're all right.
I can't hear it.
No, okay, bit of funny. Okay, right. So, looking at your numerology now, that's interesting too, because you come out here as a 325, and your 325 is very much about searching for your independence, searching for that feeling around yourself here that you are in a great space with yourself. And then you're in your awesomeness, and it's interesting what we're saying about Mars earlier on, about Mars being within our center rather than being externalized, especially when it comes to Gemini, thinking about arguments, things like this. This is also about being internalized, I feel, for you to create that loving space for someone to come into, rather than feeling that you've got to, here's someone there, is someone there. No, it's not like that. Okay, good. Good. Okay, let's go and pop down the road. Let's go and have a look at Natalie. Natalie's come in here. She says,
What's the birthday?
okay, yes, sorry, I'll chat about this. It's the 7th of the 9th, 1978. What's lying ahead for me? There may be trouble ahead, there may be moonlight and dance. Let's get the music and dance. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, right, let's have a little look here.
Isn't that from the Little Prince or something like that?
Well, it's that
No.
that song.
Yeah.
It's something
No.
like that. It was an old one, I know that. So I can remember the old one.
It's all frosty, you know?
Yes. So look, right. Natalie, very, very good morning to you. Colour yellow. First of all, I want to say to you here as I pick up this. Oh, there's a lady here who wants to come straight for you as well. Would you understand here if I said to you here that you're having an issue with what you're believing in at the moment? You're having an issue about where you're going, like thinking here, okay, what's important for me? What my belief is about where I'm going. This lady here, very, very nice lady. I'm actually looking at Guiomar's hair. And this lady's hair is very similar, or was similar when she was alive, but a bit lighter, a bit blonder, I feel here, Natalie. I'm also picking up here as well. She's saying to me here, she says, there's too much energy going on externally from you rather than just being, hey, just get inside me, just feel good about where I am. And then you're going to feel wonderful. Then you're going to feel important. And the interesting thing that I pick up with this as well is the energy over the next sort of few weeks or so is going to bring you some more aha moments. In your numerology, you're a 415. The 4 around you wants to make everything feel secure. Everybody, everything, every energy like this. It's also about here, about building foundation and being the strength for people. Your 1 energy, though, which is part of this 5, is yes, I do that for people, but I have this independence. What do I do with it? Where do I go? How do I express this? Because you're focused very much on everybody else. Well, the interesting here is the 1 energy then is very magnified by this 5, which says here, well, yes, help other people, but you so need your freedom. If I looked about where you're going, this lady is saying to me here, she says here, there's a project you're going to do, which isn't starting yet, but it's been on your mind for quite a while. Whether it's as an educational project or a work project, whatever this is going to start coming in. Probably a little bit more to do with April or May. But she's saying to me here, she says here, this will sort things out for you. She's also looking at money. She's also looking at things that worry you. She says here, it will all I wouldn't say sort itself out, but I think here you're going to be more in control of things over the next couple of months or so. But at the moment, it can seem a little bit eek. Yes, I understand that. You're also in a 3-year, and a 3-year is about connectivity, the purpose, what the purpose is about where you're going, what you're doing, and it's in that energy there that you'll find your divinity. And it's what you're learning. You're having to learn a great deal. Life, everything. I know we all do that, but very much this specific time. Yes. Let's pop down the road. Going to have a chat with Guiomar and see what she says.
So, Natalie, what was the question relative to? Sorry,
the question was relative to what's lying ahead for me.
What's lying ahead? Okay, because that's not really my thing about what's lying ahead, but I can tell you about more about you, no, in that context. So, what draws my attention is that on the one hand, there's a Chiron with the moon. There's Lilith in Cancer. There's Moon Uranus, and all these things are indicative of like lack of nurturing, lack of care, and not much connection to begin with the body. Sometimes, moms do the best they can, but sometimes mom have so much hurt that they can't do much, and they're like distraught because their heart is connected to something which was not finished or fulfilled, so they hide that inside themselves, and that disconnects them from when you are a baby, right? So because of that, you didn't feel taken care of or nurtured. And with that south node in Pisces, that can give you like a sense of like not really being here, like floating a bit, like purposelessness. But then the beauty of this is that your chart is very aligned to the energies of today and what I said before. So that Sun in Virgo, Saturn in Virgo say, be mindful, be present in every little choice you take. Learn to, like people with the North Node in Virgo have to, they meditate walking, not being still. So be always in movement, but putting the focus always in the small things in front of you. Also heal your inner baby by nurturing and taking care of yourself. And then you can bring that nurturing out into the world. Then there's a Pluto Libra aspect, which I spoke about, Pluto Mars aspect, which I spoke about that before. In your case, it's in Libra, but it's about that feeling of powerlessness, of not, for example, in Libra, with partners or with business partner or love partners, you can feel disempowered by them. If we're not very present with our small choices and very, very mindful of what's good for me or not. And also because of that lack of nurturing, then it's very easy for you, Venus in Scorpio, to just go with the flow. With again, like we were saying before, it's easy to go with the flow, but you shouldn't go with the flow. You should choose what you want and the way you want to go towards. Whatever it is, make choices. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad, but make small choices that will take you there. Otherwise, you will feel disempowered by others.
That's very, very interesting, because your cards come up here, first of all, with you. Queen of Clubs, which is very much about, hey, being in your own power, knowing where you're going, but you are a little bit lost at the minute. A little bit lost here. And there's also a focus on a man around you, especially regarding his career. Now it's interesting here because one of the things you're going to be focusing on with all this, because there's an independent side to you, there's this strength, there's this like, where am I going a little bit here? You've got the King of Swords here showing a man focusing on his career, but your thing is going to be about love life. Where's your love life going? That's the big thing. And I think here, this is nothing I don't feel this is a time to go bang and make a decision. I think this is a time here to, be in that space there, make decisions, make small ones, but create what you really, really want. And I think,
Yeah, so it's a lot about bringing your true values
yeah,
into whatever it is you do. So be
yes,
very mindful of those values and put them to practice in your day to day. I don't know, for example, if you want to create a relationship where you have a fluid communication with your partner, then start practicing fluid communication with you, and which is, how am I feeling? What can I do? What do I want to do? What do I need now? And also with other people. So you would bring those values down.
okay, okay. Ooh, this is interesting. Right, but now we're going to move on to, let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look, which is nasty. And the next one we've got to is Jay. Good morning, Jay. Good morning to you, Jay. Hope you're well out there this morning. And okay, so your question here is about love. About love. Okay,
Date
that's
of birth?
date of birth is the 4th of the 7th, 1972. I'll make that a little bit bigger for you. So you can see it. They are. Is that cool? Is that better? Good. So we're kind like that. We do things like that. Mate. Yes. Anyway, right, Jay. Interesting. First of all, looking at your numerology, you're a 3-0 in numerology, which you got this abundance of energy. You got this abundance of like understanding, helping people, and that lovely connectivity. And whilst I'm talking here, I've got to say either the month of June or a lady who passed over by the name of June. In fact, it may even be both because I'm just hearing this name to say to you, Jay. And she's right here, right up here. She just wants, and she's a. This lady I'm talking to would have been a lady that she shows me here would have been before she passed over. She's showing me here that at some point or other she was covered in plaster Paris, and broken her bones or something like this. She wants to get that element. It may have been slightly earlier in her life here, but she wants to show me this. And she also wants to show me, he says, that she was a spiritual lady herself. In fact, I'm getting connectivity from her, Jade. It says here she may not even be a member of your family. She may be outside of this. But she wants to have, she says, the spiritual side here. She wants to connect the ability that you both understood each other. She was spiritual in herself here. And she also wants to give me, what are those? I think, what are those flowers which are like that, but they're blue? They're blue. Are they like I don't know what they're called, but they're like April flowers, April May flowers. They're blue things, but they're in like half moon shape. Is it crocus? It's not crocuses, is it? I haven't got a clue. Blue things, blue flower things, whatever they are. You can tell I don't like gardening. Anyway, but she gives me these to give to you because this is important that she wants to give this here, and she's also saying to you here. Okay, there is love for you ahead. There is love for you ahead, most definitely. But it's not, I don't pick up, it's where you are, pick up, it's abroad. And I think here this will be very romantic for you. And it's interesting here. It's love captures you and makes you feel beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. A little bit later on this year, though, she says here with this. So that's a lovely energy. Your energy for this year is a 7. You're a 167. This energy is beautiful because it says here spiritually, you are coming into a very spiritual time yourself. No matter what you're doing, whether you work in how you're working around you, there's a spiritual healing work that comes out for you this year as well. An ability to help and bring love to others. Your nurturing here is strong. It's important, so important for you this year that anything to do with your love life is on your terms. Meanwhile, let's go down the road to Javier, where Guiomar is this morning.
So Jay is Sun in Cancer, Moon in Aries with Chiron, and Lilith in Scorpio and North Node in Capricorn, which to me talk a lot about, because you want to you want to create that sense of family or community or togetherness with everybody. You would get lost, as many women do, in doing that, and because that would really not be theme of the day, your choice. So your North Node in Capricorn says, stop putting that emphasis on on the importance of family, which means it's not that it's not important. It means that making a cohesive atmosphere for everybody is not the solution. It's more like helping people communicate their true feelings in a creative way. Mercury is with Mars in Leo, to be able to help people keep together because they want to be together, not because they have to be together, right? Because you can get lost in that very easily. And your Lilith in sorry, Lilith in Scorpio it was Chiron in Mars, Chiron Moon can, it's not the same as Lilith. Lilith 2 seconds. Lilith Sun, yeah, it would be more like the Lilith Sun would get very angry and yell, and then you would spin out of control with that Sun in Cancer, which is very common. And it's more about being mindful and choosing what it is you want, how you want to relate to others, but allowing for others to connect the way they want, not the way you want it to be. No.
This is interesting. It's so interesting what you're saying, because my thing here I'm picking up through the cards, it's really strong, very strong around you here. But this is what we're saying. Whatever you believe, Jay, is what you believe. But you've got, first of all, you've got the Joker reversed. Joker reversed, it says, be aware. Be aware. You've also got the eight of clubs here reversed, and you've also got the 4 of coins. Don't be put on a side here where you're made to feel important by someone around you whose intentions are more engaged on what they want rather than what you want. It's so important. There's a need here to be free, but don't be carried away by whims of things at the moment that don't make any, that somewhere deep down here says, gives you butterflies and makes you feel like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Ooh, caution there, my dear. But love is ahead. Love is ahead. And you'll be very, very happy. I do pick up that. Yes. Okie dokie dokie.
And love is ahead, but it shouldn't be at any price, right?
Yes.
It shouldn't be.
Absolutely. I like that.
Neither you nor the other person should have to forcefully adapt because of ideals of love, but actually create it along the way.
Okay.
Okay. What's good for you.
Okay, we're going to nip up the road, or nip down the road. Yeah, nip up the road. We're going to speak to a very nice lady called Cheryl. She's the 17th, the 7th, 1971. The 7s, the 7s, the 7s. Got that there?
17th, 771.
Yes, 1971. And her big thing here is about her career. Okay, so who wants to come through and say hello? Okay, would you have understood, Jay, a gentleman who loved rock and roll? Because the gentleman stepping forward here, and he's going, beep, ba, balula, she's my baby. I'm not singing anymore because I don't know the words. Anyway, right. Anyway, so he's this gentleman is stepping forward to you because he used to love singing, used to love the clubs and all this sort of stuff here, and he just gives me the rock and roll. His era was great, but he's stepping forward to me here. And he's got R to his name, like Ray. And he's also wanted to say to me here, he's coming forward to you, and he says here, well, choices are going to be there for you, but will you take them up? Choices will be there for you. You've got opportunities. It's what's going to make you feel good by this. He's saying here, he says, they will come at you, and sometimes thinking, yes, or I'm not sure about this, or maybe that one, or not sure about that one. They're saying to me here, he's saying to me here that these choices will be there for you, but he wants to let you know, he says that there'll be something very solid for you coming up a little bit later on this year. But I can understand why you're looking at career, and the options will become very clear a bit later on, he's saying to me at the moment. And as I'm talking to him as well, he would also like to say here that I can understand the rod and the fishing line, like you feel like you're being pulled backwards somewhere, pulled backwards into something, thinking, do I really want to go back into this environment or whatever it is? And but he's saying the options for you will become stronger, and you'll feel, yeah, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing. But he says here there will be countless opportunities, and they're all good. They all have a way about them. It's the way you're feeling about it at that time is this right for me?
What was the subject again? Sorry, Phil.
Okay, career.
Car-
Korea.
Career. Okay,
Mm.
so North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo, Sun in Cancer. Again, it feels a bit like, yeah, and Lilith in Libra. No, it's again about South Node in Leo is learning to connect with others. North Node in Aquarius, instead of enforcing your, because South Node in Leo is like being the queen, no? Like I'm right, I'm the one who dictates the order, and it's there with Mercury. I'm used to telling people what to do. Sun in Cancer can also be very much like empowered in that sense of telling others what to do. But Lilith in Libra says that it's very important to learn to relate to others in 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 a more Aquarian way, in a more fair and just way, allowing everybody to choose and form part of that choice.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you'll probably feel like, because it's a very energetic combination. There's a lot of oppositions in the chart, and there's also a lot of sex trines. So it's very fluid and very good for being entrepreneurial. A lot of energy there for creating circumstances
Yes. Yes.
and materializing, Moon and Taurus and so forth. But it's important, Saturn and Gemini, to learn to really communicate to other people, learn to listen to what they need and what others, whether they be the people that work with you, your employees, or your clients, no? Really try to tend to their need. And then, because there's a Mars in Aquarius can be very forceful in one's ideals, really want to defend things, but it's more about not getting lost in the enthusiasm or your first thought, but actually being more collaborative.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie dokie. But it sounds like things here could go. Cheryl, I think you've got an awesome time in front of you. In fact, if I looked here at the cards and looking at the cards for you, where this is going to go for you, career wise here, then I think here you're going to have quite an interesting time. I also I also feel here there's another gentleman here as well who's trying to come through as well. At the moment, at the moment, I could see where you're thinking about career, and I can see where some opportunities are going to come around you. But your cards at this present time are saying here, observe. There will be opportunities. Observe, weigh things up, see how it all feels, juggle things around a little bit, have a look at things from different angles, and then you'll make a better decision a bit later on. If you jump at the moment, your cards are a little bit conflicting just at the moment here. So, but they are on offer, but it's good to know they're on offer rather than no offers. Yes, that's the one thing I'd say here. So to you know,
Yes, which is a bit what I was saying before about running on charcoal, on.
yes,
So
yes,
it's really, if you just run and be very hasteful, you can land your face flat on the ground. So it's more about really thinking about, okay, what's my next step, but thinking in the short term, not the long term. Choosing
mm-hmm.
short, long term.
Okay, great stuff, great stuff. Let's move down the line. We have got Sarah Kay who comes up. She says colour turquoise and the 14th, the 8th, 1985. A general reading, please. Okay, I would like to say here first of all that nines are so prominent in your numerology chart that yes, even this year is a nine for you. Or it's also a nine in your chart here. And as I am working with you and talking with you at the present time here, I've got loads of feminine energies that like to come over for you. And a lovely lady. Now, this is interesting. And I think you would know this. Would you understand a lady who used to, her perfume or smells were very much like lemons? Lemons. There's a lemon smell with a particular lady coming over. Now, if I also look at her, she also wants to tell me here that she used to live abroad a great deal. She wasn't necessarily in the environment that you're in, but or the location you're in here. But she wants to show me abroad. She wants to show. She just showed me your grandfather, your grandfather's over. This is your grandmother. So would you understand a lady used to smell lovely? The smell of lemons around her was always very strong. And she's saying to me here, she says here, the first thing she gives me here is white flowers. Don't ask me what type they're called. I haven't got a clue, but they're white flowers. And this for me here is about, it's about spirituality, but it's also about just focusing on you and how you're growing, how you're understanding yourself and where you're going to. And she says here, saying to me that you're very much in your own power. There is a situation coming up this year which regards a lock and key. Keys, this is like a property. You feel like you're being challenged. I'm not the judge and jury of this, but I'm feeling here you'll cross this, you'll get over the other side, and you'll feel this is sorted. But you'll be angry about something. Be angry, but but you're in a very good place. She says to me here. She says you'll get through this, and you'll be like, yay, back of the net sort of thing. You're going to score a goal. And she's saying, another thing she's saying to me here is she says here, what lays ahead for you is more. The ground isn't going to feel so narrow. It's going to feel wider, but you'll be at more peace. Yes, more peace. That's what I pick up here. So that's what I like to say. So, and your energies at the moment, this Numerology 9 is very much about what you're learning, your experiences, and really your 9 is, although it's surrender, it's giving things to other people, it's always about others. It's also now what very much is about here. Well, you've given enough away. Now, what about you? Okay, shall we pop down the road? Pop down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah has a pretty powerful combination: Sun, Leo, Moon, Cancer. Um, uh, North Node is in Taurus with Lilith. So that you're pretty powerful. You just need to accept that you are. South Node in Scorpio has a tendency to fuse with others and not really feel empowered, but be very subservient. So it's important that Venus in Cancer to take care of yourself, to really nurture yourself, to not get lost. Again, the theme of getting lost in other people, because you're very powerful. I mean, there's a Saturn in Scorpio, which is like a powerhouse together with Lilith Mercury. So you can create your reality if you want. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to feel free to be able to do so. And the only thing that separates you from being free to be able to do so is your beliefs.
Yes.
So to be able to change your beliefs, nurture and take care of yourself. So you don't need anybody else to take care of that for you. Because the thing is, when we are hungry, when we are thirsty, and we don't know it, we haven't acknowledged that we have basic needs that are unmet right now as an adult. What happens is that we feel bad. It's like, being hangry. We feel bad and we start demanding things onto others. So if you nurture and take care of yourself, you won't need to demand onto others, which means that you will be more free to create the opportunities that you want.
Okay. Okay. Okay, lovely. Well, your cards here are very interesting because your cards here are very much, they're looking at money, they're looking about where you're going, and they're looking about sometimes the stressy things going on around you, and they look at like disputes, arguments, things like this. But all of them are just things you just go, if you want to look at this, focus on it, yeah, you'll find it. But it's just there, but it's not doing anything. It's not bringing this up to say, "My God, they're in big trouble." So they're just saying they're there. But well, we all have those, don't we? We all have those. But I know your challenges could be quite difficult. But the one thing I'd say here with your 9 is interesting. Your 9 spades is very much about here. We worry about things, but you'll be worrying less. Best thing here. If you choose to worry, you'll worry. If you choose not to worry, you'll be fine. It's all the same. It's all the same, if that makes sense. They're just there, but they're not doing anything. Nothing's happening. Nothing's challenging you to give you any major worries. They're just there.
Yeah, and also important for Sarah to accept change
Mm-hmm.
and to let go what you cannot change. Don't expect turnbacks. Don't expect to close circles. There's no point. Just let go what
Yeah.
you cannot change.
Yes. David Bowie's good at that. Changes who love to change. That's it. I don't know the rest of the words, but it's a good song. Good song. Good. Right, we didn't get round to everybody this morning. I know loads of you have come through for readers and stuff here. Taz, sorry I couldn't get through to you, but very good morning to you. And also someone else is coming through. Just Mubarika, sorry, we just didn't get a chance to get through to you, but never mind. We're on every Wednesday morning, but we're also on the Friday show this week, which is going to be at 8 o'clock in the evening, EU, 7 o'clock UK. I'm joined by the fabulous, wonderful spiritual medium, Helen Grady, Lady Grady. So look forward to that. But yes, give our love to everybody over there in Javier Guiomar and wish you a lovely day yourself.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye. I'm just looking. Oh, there it is there. Good. And thank you to producer Deborah for producing the show. If there's any sound things going on the show here, sorry. It was, as you say, it's the Saturn Mars. It's the Mars Pluto bit. Just, oh well. It's always great to blame things on that, isn't it? Everybody understands. Yes. Yeah. Why was there no sugar in my tea? Sorry. Just Mars, Pluto. That's all it is.
The universe. Put the sugar in there.
Brilliant. Have a great everybody. Loads of love and burgers and love and burgers. Take care now and see you all next week on the Spiritual Astrology Show. Thank you very much, Guiomar, for joining me and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.